After 5th grade, in high school, got admission then, started learning English. One day while writing leave application, teacher Yusuf Sahib told me write, I beg to say, then, my hand stiffened, heart whispered softly, that leave may be granted or not, but this begging cannot be done at all, I beg to say, still my mind could not forget the humiliation of word, beg, and, before thought ended, application was finished, this time teacher asked to write, your obedient servant. Now my temples burned with anger. How it's possible that I call myself someone's obedient servant or slave? When I entered the legal profession, saw same humiliation. Those seeking justice were called supplicants. Supplicant in courts was always seen as humble petitioner. Justice could not be demanded directly. He could never demand that justice be given. Only he could present prayer, a request, and humble petition. I sat thinking, if courts exist to deliver justice, and if God commands to act justly with fairness, then why cannot one demand justice as a rightful claim, instead of begging in misery, with humble tone and desperate prayer? Why not demand with dignified manner? Much later I came to know this was not mere coincidence, but these are manners taught in slavery during British rule. They run deep in our blood. British writers taught etiquette of slavery through written books. One such book was by W.T. Webb, titled English Etiquette for Indian Gentlemen. This book is less of guide, more a document of pure slavery. Step by step, locals were told that their time has now passed, their civilization outdated. New masters now wish that locals adopt their manners. In Webb's book, at many places, etiquette of slavery was clearly taught. Detailed, it explained how to appear before an Englishman, how to greet, how to address, if wearing shoes of local design, remove them outside veranda before entering. Wearing such shoes before an Englishman is considered insult. Be warned never raise hand first for greeting and tell, sir or madam, deem you worthy. Never call Englishmen by name alone. Titles are mandatory. If you meet a European casually on the street, how to fulfill requirements of etiquette is all described. If inviting them, then rules of hospitality are detailed, and so forth. Local culture was declared completely outdated. From waking till sleeping, every action and every moment was taught according to English ways. How to eat, how to use knife and fork, eating with hand was a sin. Beware if any gentleman ate meat with bare hands. Repeatedly they ordered to respect English sensitivity and dignity, but told locals, if you're insulted, don't take offense. And yes, if you wish respect, on wedding cards, replace phrases like, awaiting your presence, with word RSVP. Though British left half-century ago, still our wedding cards keep RSVP. We still chase dreams of becoming East India Company honorable gentlemen today, in their so-called polite code of manners and conduct. If any lack remained unnoticed, they completed it finally by teaching etiquette of writing petitions. In Chapter 11, they explained clearly how to write applications or petitions, and provided samples, so local gentlemen may take guidance. In all those applications, few things were carefully emphasized. First, the beginning of the application was extremely slavish, submissive and humiliating in its tone. For example, phrase, I beg to say, was used from school children's applications up to official petitions everywhere, so that even from school days, children may learn what slavery manners look like, and how even one day, leave application begins with the word beg as start. Second, at end of every request, words like your servant or your most obedient servant were always written, so local people might clearly realize that their worth was nothing more than servant class and loyal subject. This was actually a whole civilizational operation imposed upon the native society, since later those same local gentlemen occupied high offices, and after colonial rule had ended, that same bureaucracy became our heritage, and no one ever reconsidered socially what had happened. Therefore these local gentlemen still today, with English manners, paint society's back red and green. Against this gentlemanly culture the first voice rose up from city Delhi, a juggler named Lal Lord each came to a crossroads of Delhi city, bringing his monkey, beating his drum, and saying loudly, become a gentleman. Lal Cordage's monkey, wore a hat, put on glasses, and fully acted as proper gentlemen. Both monkey and juggler were arrested. Local gentlemen grew angry and offended. Interesting it was that monkey trainers, even till today, when making monkeys dance, they demand, become a gentleman. Perhaps for this very same reason, the British listed them as criminal tribes in law. Sometimes when day is slowly fading, I descend down from the Margala, and it feels like forest monkeys, shouting and crying, loudly or saying, become a gentleman. When I descend from the mountain, I look around, and see entire city turned into gentlemen completely.